Clan MacInnes is a Scottish clan from the Highlands. As it has no clan chief now, it is regarded as an Armigerous clan. Motto: GHIFT, AGUS and RIGH. History. Origins of the name from the Gaelic MacInnes. Mac or MC means son. A family of Aon means one, a unique, and GUSA means choice. Therefore unique choice, a choice one. Mac does not imply strict bloodlines, but could reflect kinship, dependent allies or tenants. This name first appears in the 7th century Scottish census for an Alban, a rival in Scotland. Clan MacInnes' ancestors were among the early inhabitants of Islay, Jura and the Kintyre Peninsula in Scotland, generally part of the region known as Argyll. These Scoti, a Celtic Gaelic-speaking people, first appear there as settlers from Ireland in c. 500 when Fergus Mór, king of the North Irish kingdom of Dalriata, and his two brothers Alone and Oengus, expanded the lands into southwestern Alba. Oengus had already established a colony on Islay and or Jura and was the master of ships for the new kingdom. Oengus is considered to be the first of the MacInnes clan and is thought to be buried on Iona. Dalriata quickly grew in influence and strength, and eventually overran the indigenous Pictish peoples and the culture. The area then became known as Scotland after these Scoti immigrants. Expansion and decline. It is believed that MacInnes lived on Iona with Columba. Oengus and his descendants would have exploited the seagoing skills and ventured to Iona at an early time. Iona is the final resting place of many MacInnes, and law says that Columba selected the site whereupon the Keel Church now stands in Loch Allen, near Kinlochlein Castle, the castle built by the MacInnes. During the 9th century the clan moved out of the Western Isles and into Argyll. This was most likely as a result of constant Viking raids in the islands. By the early 12th century MacInnes people were well established in all of Morven. The traditional seat of the chiefs of Clan MacInnes was established there in Kinlochlein Castle. As the Viking raids continued to terrorize the land, the MacInnes became members of an alliance known as Sile Gillibride along with McGill of Rhys, McMasters and Maesha Chance, somewhat in the manner of Clan Chattan, under the leadership of the Celtic Norse warrior Somerled. Somerled's grandson was the first of Clan Donald, chief of MacInnes, sought Somerled to seek his aid. A skilled warrior, Somerled agreed to help them if they would follow his directions completely. He told them to kill and skin a herd of long-haired Highland cattle, and to then march the normally kilt-clad fighters in plain sight of the invading Vikings. Next they were to dress in the cowhides with the long hair turned outwards and march again before their enemies. Then a third time they were to march in front of the Vikings, but this time wearing the hides turned skin side out. The MacInnes men followed his advice. The Vikings were fooled into thinking the MacInnes had 3 times their actual fighting strength. They turned and fled the overwhelming numbers, and many were slain. In thanks to Somerled, the MacInnes vowed to become his vassals. Quote, in the mid-14th century, the last chief of Clan MacInnes was killed, along with his sons, by order of John of Islay, Lord of the Isles. Chief MacInnes had advised John to divorce his wife, Amy Macruari, and marry the daughter of future King Robert II of Scotland. Amy got revenge by telling John that MacInnes had complained that, while being lodged at John's residence, his quarters stank because they were used as a dog's kennel. Enraged, John ordered Donald, son of Lachlan MacLean, to kill MacInnes. These murders were carried out in Castle Ardtornish on the Sound of Mull, and as a reward Clan MacLean were deeded the lands and castle of Ardgour. Clan MacInnes remains without a chief, and many of the clan scattered to Appin, Craignish, Lochaber and Skye. but some of the clan continued to occupy the castle. Dispersal. In the 16th century, many of the MacInnes clan moved to Sleat on the Isle of Skye. 5 long ships are said to have made the journey, each holding a family group. For these 5 families are descended the 5 lineages of the name of MacInnes on the Isle of Skye. Some of these MacInnes men became the hereditary bowmen to the MacInnes of Strath. The bowmen were known as Slyoch Neil A. Boga. Others of the dispossessed clan had joined with Clan Dougal Craignish, and some went to Perthshire and joined with the MacGregors, leading to an ill-informed present-day claim that MacInnes is a sept of MacGregor. It should be also noted that Clan Innes is unrelated to MacInnes, having arisen in Moray east of Inverness at a later date. Jacobite uprisings. During the Jacobite uprisings, most of the Clan MacInnes supported the British government. However, one branch of the clan fought for the Jacobite cause. In the Jacobite Rising of 1745, MacInnes clansmen took up arms on both sides. Some stood with the Campbells and the House of Argyll, but others supported Prince Charles Edward Stuart and fought beside Stuart of Ardshiel, who commanded of the Appin Regiment. A MacInnes clansman, MacMaster of Glenaladale, raised Prince Charles' banner at Glenfinnan. 4 MacInnes men were killed and 2 wounded in the battle. Others may have been captured and subsequently hanged. Donald Livingston, the 18-year-old son of Anna MacInnes of Morven, saved the Appin banner from Culloden and smuggled it home. The banner is now housed in the Museum of Scotland. These kinsmen are buried in the cemetery of Keelkirk in Loch Allen, Morven. The church and cemetery exist today, with many old gravestones housed in the session house next to the church. 1 John McGuinness helped row Charles to safety and, when captured and flogged, refused to disclose the details. The Highland clearances. The Highland clearances, from about 1790 to 1840s, drove many MacInneses from their homes, notably on Skye Mull. These clearances were designed to get the tenant farmers off the land to make room for profitable sheep herding. Poverty, crop failures and high rents also contributed to the tide of emigration that emptied the Highlands during the 19th century. Numerous parish cemeteries on Mull, Skye, Iona, Islay and across Argyll hold the remains of clansmen. Clan Castle. Kinlochlean Castle was the seat of the chief of Clan MacInnes for much of the clan's history. In 1645, during the English Civil War, the castle was attacked and burnt by MacDonalds serving under James Graham, 1st Marquess of Montrose, a member of Clan Graham. Clan MacInnes retained control of the castle following this attack, along with a later attack in 1679 during a feud with the Archibald Campbell, 9th Earl of Argyll. The castle, which was then heavily damaged, was abandoned by Clan MacInnes around 1690. Crest. The oldest crest of the MacInnes is a beon of thistle and the motto, E Labor Dulcedo, coming from an incident in the 13th century when a MacInnes chief was awakened by a beasting to lead his forces in surprising and defeating a party of Viking raiders. The above crest appears to be an historical inaccuracy. See the MacInnes clan page for an explanation of how it occurred. http MacInnes.org Crests. What happened? HTML. In 1960, a branch of the clan matriculated arms from which was adopted the crest of a right arm in proper tartan holding a bow and the motto IRIDGHIPTDHE, AGUS and RIGH. This crest was adopted for commercial use by the Council of Chiefs. Since there is no clan chief, the arms are lodged with Lord Leon, King of Arms. That branch of the MacInnes emigrated from Skye and founded a farm in Nova Scotia in the 19th century called Malagawatch. As such, the arm and amp, bow, crest and the motto above are part of the arms of MacInnes of Malagawatch. In 2004, the International Association of Clan MacInnes was granted arms by the Court of Lord Leon Leon, which incorporated the arm and amp bow, with slight modifications, atop a wholly new coat of arms incorporating significant symbols related to the history of the clan. Seps. The following are the seps of Clan MacInnes, along with the spelling variations of each: Angus, Canch, Canch, Corns, Hans, MacAngus, MacInnes, 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 MacAninch, MacInnes, MacAnch, Macao, Highs, Macau, and Hewish, Macish, MacInnes. Related names. There are many anglicized spellings of the name: MacInnes, 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 McGuinness, MacInnes, MacAngus, MacAninch, MacIninch, MacInnes, Manice, MacAns, MacAnts, MacNeash, MacAnch, and many more. Since Mac and MC are interchangeable, Masters, MacMaster, and variants are of the clan. To this day there are 157 variants of the spelling of the name MacInnes, including spellings with MC, Mac, and the occasional G. The name Innes is often linked to MacInnes. Innes originally has a later origin in Moray, but a number of people with the surname MacInnes dropped the Mac, in common with holders of other Mac names, during times when it was unfavorable to be identified as a Gaelic speaker.